G'day folks, welcome to DG's Kitchen. It's a cool cloudy day in Sydney, so we're going to cook one of my winter favourites, curried goat.
Today's recipe includes both a dry and a wet mix. This recipe also works for lamb or beef. The dry mix includes garam masala, chilli and turmeric powder. We'll also be adding star anise, cloves, as well as coriander, caraway, cumin, fenugreek and fennel seeds. We also have some poppy and mustard brown seeds, which we'll save for later. Ingredients for the wet mix include fresh ginger, a red onion, garlic and variety of chilies from my garden. My personal favourite is the habanero, having a nice fruity flavour and a bit of kick. We also have sweet potato, carrot, fresh coriander, peas, I use frozen, soy sauce and coconut cream. The whiskey, of course, is to enjoy the cooking process. We also have a special ingredient which we'll introduce later. To get started, rinse the goat meat under fresh water and place in a strainer. Light some incense and say a blessing for a healthy, yummy meal. Heat up a shallow pan and add the dry spices, starting with the star anise, cloves, and then making your way down to the smaller seeds. The larger seeds, of course, take a little bit longer to roast, hence we don't put them all in at the same time. Gently roast the spices, enjoying the lovely aromas that they give off. Add the mix to a mortar and pestle and grind into a powder. Now add the garam masala, chili powder and turmeric and stir into the mix. After a wee sip, add the meat to a storage container and then add the dry mix, mixing in well. We recommend wearing kitchen gloves to avoid your fingers from getting messy. Pour in some soy sauce and mix well. Store in the fridge for at least an hour or ideally overnight.
G'day folks, a bit of a cold wet day outside, so either we can sleep in or cook some curry. Let's get cracking.
Cut the onion in half, one half finely diced and the other half roughly chopped. Watch out for those fingers. And after another sip, roughly chop up the garlic. Carefully peel the ginger. Note, cutting yourself is not recommended. And after a gingery sip, roughly cut up the pieces. Next, chop up the chilies. Add the wet mix ingredients to a mortar and pestle and grind into a paste. You could also do this using a food processor. The wet mix paste should be looking and smelling pretty good by now. Now it's time to start cooking. Heat up a large pot, then add some olive oil. Slowly add the marinated meat, making sure to brown on all sides. We don't want to fully cook the meat, just give it a bit of colour. Once all sides have been done, take the meat out and put aside. In the same pot, on a low to medium heat, add some ghee. You could also just use butter or olive oil. Add the poppy and mustard seeds and stir. Next, add the remaining onion and stir for a few minutes. Now add the wet mix into the pot. The smell of the cooking spices should be pretty good by now. After a few minutes, add the browned meat back into the pot and stir. Now for the special ingredient, apple cider for a nice fruity flavour. White wine or beer also works. Stir the ingredients, raising the heat to high, then cover with a lid. Once the liquid comes to a boil, stir, then reduce to a low heat to simmer. On a low heat, total cooking time will be 2 to 3 hours. Make sure to regularly stir throughout. Whilst your curry is gently cooking, peel the carrot and sweet potato, then roughly chop. After your curry has been cooking for about an hour, add the chopped carrot and half of the sweet potato, then stir. If your curry is feeling a little thirsty, feel free to open up another bottle and add a splash or two more of apple cider. Time for a taste. Feel free to add some brown sugar to counter the spiciness. After another half hour or so, have another slurp, then add the rest of the sweet potato. Reason is to provide some texture, as the original sweet potato may have dissolved into the sauce. When you are nearly finished, add the coconut milk. Last ingredient is the peas, which will only take a couple of minutes to cook. Time to see what your goat curry looks like. Take off the stove and allow to rest. Garnish with some fresh coriander. And enjoy with a papadam or rice and your favourite beverage. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to click the like button. You can also click on the bell to receive notifications of new content. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.